Hey everybody, Mark Edward Lewis here from CinemaSound.com. Today we're going to be looking at another aspect of the use of the Cinema Sound Foley Library in Kontakt. Here we're going to be in the pilot of Blade of Honor, the very opening of it here. And we're in Logic Pro. We've got a bunch of different tracks. In fact, let's just bring up the plugin, so if you haven't seen it before. We've got all kinds of walkthroughs and how to use it on this channel, so be sure to go see those perhaps first before you jump into this. We show you how to demo it here. Or how to use it, how we used it here. We're going to just play this track. I'm going to mute the Foley altogether. Let's see. Yes, so you can just watch it without and just hear the nat sound that's in the mix.
Report any Starblade pilot to medical who shows symptoms of the band.
We need to talk.
Not now. I've got 46 minutes to eat and sleep in this interval.
Pilots with bands fight for the Terps. This is the
We're
captain.
fighting a war based on attrition when we should be fighting a war on offense. Oh, hey.
So obviously not very immersive. Without Foley, even though there's a little bit of Foley in the natural sound of the track, it's just not there. So we're going to unmute, and here's what the Cinema Sound Foley Library did.
Report any Starblade pilot to medical who shows symptoms of the band.
We need to talk.
Not now. I've got 46 minutes to eat and sleep in this interval.
Pilots with bands fight for the Terps. This is the
We're
captain.
fighting a war based on attrition when we should be fighting a war on offense.
And we turned it up a little bit loud just because we know we're streaming and there's compression and things like that. But let's break this down and show you exactly what we're doing here. I'm just going to put this back into a small thing so we can see. We're going to start with the, actually, let's go from the bottom to the top. We'll start with the footsteps. And let's see, let's open up some MIDI tracks here so we can see what's happening a little better. So these are the actual footsteps that are being used. And you can see they're just MIDI data, which is super cool. And you're like, well, Mark, what are all these things over here? Well, these are key switches because we can switch between various keyboards and various selections of sounds on the fly as we need to. So you can see here for her footsteps, we have footsteps female. And in this sound bank, we have a whole bunch of sounds that we're using in this, or could use in this layer, and then carpet on wood, boots with heels loud on the other. Let's see what happens here if we just solo this object, these sounds, just the footsteps. See what happens. So that's pretty cool. And there's a lot of things happening, a lot of stuff happening over here, not just the samples being played, but this, red looking things moving all around, this here. And then, of course, the cutoff filters moving all around. And that's all being controlled from controllers that I have on my keyboard that you probably have on yours as well. Or you could just draw them in automation. Now I'm going to close this. Actually, you know what? I'll just slide this over here so you can just see this little bit to the cutoff itself. We're going to open up this window here. Now, right now, if we right-click on cutoff, can't see anything. Let's move this over. We're going to see that this cutoff is being controlled by controller number 2. And right now we're looking at breath controller 2. So this MIDI data that was drawn in is actually controlling the cutoff. And the cutoff is right now on a low-pass filter. So as it comes down, things get darker. And that's what we want Foley to do as the actors are moving away from camera. We want things to get darker. So check this out. And it absolutely happens. Now, here's what else I want to show you. There's another bit of controller data that you've probably already seen that's happening, and that's this. This is foot controller, which is controller number 4. If we look at this red-looking thing, we'll see that it has controller number 4 data assigned to it. This is the layer mixer, which mixes from these sounds, or this one, in this case, carpet, tennis shoes, soft, with these layers, in this case, carpet on wood, boots with heels loud. So let me just show you what's happening here. I've got, here's controller 2. You can see the cutoff moving there. I'm going to turn this all the way up. And then this is the layer switcher. Right now I'm on mixed all the way to the left, which means I'm all on layer A. Which has a lot of nice, smooshy, quiet kind of carpet stuff. If I go all the way to the layer B, I get boots, I get the buckles, and I get some thump. When I mix them together, I get a lot of beautiful humanity in there and slides at the top. And I can actually switch to make this manual so I can get heels and toes. if I wanted to. So using this layer, I can mix between them if I choose, which is what this automation is giving me. A lot more boots with heels and a little tennis shoe soft, which is super great. And I can do that on the fly and obviously edit it any way I want to, which is great. Love that. Now here's his footsteps. Now he's starting way off here in the distance. And he's got a nice slide there. If we look at the controller data, we'll see here. Actually, let's look here. Now you'll notice here's his cutoff filter. It actually goes up, goes the other way. Because he's actually getting closer. And he, I believe, does not have a low pass filter. Yes, he has the band pass filter. Let's watch this go down. So it's actually, wherever the cutoff is here, it's only giving us what frequencies are around that, which can be really useful, especially when he doesn't actually walk up to us per se, although he walks by in a minute. Let's see. Let me look one more time at his. Oh yes, he's also got a little mixture here, which is great. Check out what happens here. I believe he's also controller 4. Yes. So we've got carpet on wood, boots medium. Some beautiful stuff there, but there's no real thump to that sound. If we make it cement barefoot loud, it's got some flap, but also some thump. When we mix them together, I mean, you can see it in this, this waveform right here. That's a lot of low frequencies. So when we get to be able to mix between these layers while selecting the banks in between, we get lots and lots of flexibility, which is super dope. So together, if we play them together, it's super great. All right, now let's go to her top, which is leather. In fact, let's look at what's happening here. This is a very complicated thing to do. Yeah, leather jacket, move, medium, short. Yeah, let's look at the picture here. Make it a little bigger. Just fantastic. I mean, just wonderful. Now here are her legs, the pants. Which a lot of people don't do. You forget that, when pants move by, it's not just footsteps, but that's something we always want to have in there. Super great. Let's hear his legs. Which is great. Again, the filter coming up as he comes closer, going down as she goes away if you're using a low pass. Here's his top. It's not 100% perfect, but when we put it in the mix...
We need to talk.
Not now. I've got 46 minutes to eat and sleep in this interval.
It's pretty doggone great. All right, one of the most important things that I want to show you is this thing that happens right here.
I've got 46 minutes to eat and sleep in this interval.
Which you may not have noticed before, but listen if we solo the skin track. There's a little bit of beard in there. You got to have that. If you don't, watch what happens.
Sleep in this interval.
It just doesn't feel good at all. So let's open up this instance of it and see what's happening. I've got loaded the bag. I've got a bearded face touch soft medium and a bearded face touch soft. Now we've key switched it because we decided to use the C#0 layer of bank rather. So here. Is medium, here's soft, which works. And in fact, if we try that, I'm just going to change the key switch here so that it is the C. Let's turn this off instead of the C#. See how it sounds.
Sleep in this interval.
It's not bad.
Sleep in this interval.
It's just a little short. Let's bring it up to the C# now for medium.
Sleep in this interval.
Better.
Sleep in this interval.
Now you're like, well, why is the bag loaded? What's that about? Well, this bag, which this one, it's going to be really loud. While using the band pass can really make some great results. In fact, let's just try this. I'm going to turn this band pass down here. Oh, let's just load this. It doesn't have any learnings. Now it does, yeah. It's got a lot of high frequency energy to it, which, if we can bring down the volume enough, might be nice.
Sleep in this interval.
Pilots with bands fight for
Sleep in this interval.
Oh, actually, we're on bearded. I gotta change the key switch. See, key switches are important. Now we're gonna be on bearded. Let's go back here.
Sleep in this interval.
A bag.
pilots with bands fight.
Check it out.
In this interval.
Pilots with bands fight.
That's not bad. That's pretty cool.
Sleep in this interval.
Pilots with bands fight.
And in fact, it has a kind of a sound to it. Let's solo it. That's not bad. And that's a trash bag. So using these filters can be super, super helpful just to create other things. Now, here's something else that's cool. We could layer these together if we chose. We have the layer switch right now at 50/50. Let's load Bearded Face Touch Soft Medium into Bank B. Bearded Face Touch Soft Medium. And let's just see how we're doing here. In fact, it's going to be this key. No, it's this key right here. We'll turn it up. And that's both of them together. Do a little balance. Now let's see how it goes. But if we do just the bag, or just the bearded face, well, actually, that's pretty good, actually. Let's make it a little more bearded face. And all together?
Pilots with bands.
That's really
I've got
nice.
46 minutes to eat and sleep in this interval.
Pilots with bands fight.
Nice. So hopefully this is informative to you. We've got dozens, like I mentioned, of all these videos on how to use the library, what it can do, and all kinds of great stuff. And then, of course, if you don't have the Cinema Sound Foley Library, make sure you get your copy. It works incredibly well in Kontakt, which means it works great almost everywhere. And definitely come visit us at cinemasound.com, where we have hundreds and hundreds and even more videos and articles about how to get not only Foley right, but mixing it right, but also every other aspect of sound into your production. Until we see you there, we'll see you in the Foley studio.
Even if it's where you're stuck.